I'm heading to the Grand Tetons and the Jackson Hole area for the next several days, and along this trip I'll share a lot more insight as far as traveling with the Rivian, and of course hopefully photograph a few awesome critters. Here we go.
Crazy out here.
I'm here in Perry, Utah, charging at the Electrify America station. I've been here for 16 minutes, got 2 more minutes to go. It's about 10 degrees outside, so my range is getting trashed. Look at this. My range right now is at 1.27 miles per kilowatt.
I set my alarm for 2 a.m., packed my gear, and got on the road because I wanted to get a full day to photograph around Grand Tetons. It was very cold under the full moon, and with some headwind, my range wasn't that great. I made a 10-minute stop at the station in McCammon, Idaho. It was 67 cents per kilowatt. It's probably the most expensive I've ever used. I then stopped in Pocatello and then at this Walmart here in Idaho Falls for about 40 minutes. While charging, I ran inside, got some fruit, water, and muffins. Eastern Idaho is insanely beautiful. I've driven through here countless times, and the drive through Swan Valley never gets old. In a short time, I saw something move to my left, and I spotted a young moose. This moose was on a pretty steep incline, however, having some good snacks.
Roads are a little slippery, but truck's doing awesome. Whoa.
Eventually, I made it down to Jackson. And in the parking garage downtown, there are 2 fast chargers. While going inside, I forgot to lower my cell phone antenna booster from WeBoost. And this is basically how you raise it and lower it. A very simple process that works flawlessly to increase my cell phone reception wherever I go.
Truck's done charging. This is one reason why I love Jackson Hole. $0.
After going through my camera gear, I decided to head out to Grovant Road, where I usually see some moose. These moose here shed their antlers a while back, however, it was awesome to see them out and about. And there's never nothing wrong with taking some photographs.
It's a huge bald eagle that I'm filming right now. The thing is massive. Cool thing is I just got done making my late lunch, early dinner. Venison country casserole from Chad Mendez signature meal from Peak Refuel. Basically just heat up 1 cup of water and then add it in there, mix it up, wait about 10 minutes, good to eat.
After my late lunch, I drove around a little bit more to try to find more wildlife. However, I really didn't see much, and I started to get tired as well. Starting at 2 a.m., it's been a long day. Now I'm on my way over to my camp spot for the night.
Well, here's Coulter Bay. Not a soul in sight besides me. Love my scene lights. These are from a company in Utah called Heretic. And next cool thing I'm going to set up is my big light stand. Low, medium, high. And then you can get even brighter if you have 1 more battery. So what I love to do is open these up. So that light is super bright. Now you can see this entire parking lot here. Love it. Now it's time to set up the tent. There it is, set up. That's the Thule Approach rooftop tent. This is the size small. So then the light I use on the inside of my tent is this. This is the Goal Zero Lighthouse Mini. It's got these legs that you can, stand it on, anything like that. It's got a USB cord in there. You can charge your phone off of it as well. And my favorite thing to use is it's got this built-in hook. Really awesome thing too about this light is that, I'll put this down and I'll show you. It's got 2 ways to turn on the light. So that's 360 light. You see light going all the way around, and then if you turn this knob this way, now only the light is going basically out this way, and this side isn't blinding me. So, but if you can see, that side is, that side isn't. So yeah, now we're gonna throw this inside the tent. And the Thule tent has a hook right up here. Boom, there's the tent. This is my other favorite battery to pack. It's the Yeti 500 from Goal Zero. So one thing I do is just bring that cord through there, plug it back in right there, and then I can control the outside lights from inside the tent. Medium, high, super bright. Turn on the air, get my heated seat going, get my hand warmers going. Love the app for situations like this. Just woke up and everything's frozen over. Frost flakes on everything, so got a little bit of snow coming down, but gosh, what a beautiful place. Of course, last night these red lights weren't even on, but they are now. Gonna head out, trying to find some animals this morning. Oh my gosh, there's 3 moose out in this field. So I've got my tripod, my A7R4 with my 400mm lens in here, and audio, microphone, extenders, etc. in there. I'm going to add my favorite kind of mix to my water, Comical Element. I'm not sponsored by them, so don't ask. I've been trying their stuff for a while now, and tell you what, it tastes good. I haven't tried the raspberry flavor, but electrolyte mix. I've loved these on my bike rides and my hikes, and throw that in. Pretty cold water. Cars going by. Boom. Next thing is putting on the snowshoes. So pretty back here, oh my gosh. Went out a ways. Didn't see much. Good little morning exercise though. So pretty out here. Saw this little thing move way the crap out there with my binoculars. And now I'm going to show you what it is with this big lens. It's a cool coyote just sitting there fishing or waiting for some stuff to happen. Oh, it's cold. Looks so cool.
These coyotes were about 700-800 yards away, and in my binoculars and lens, I could see them howl. However, hearing it took a couple of seconds to finally reach me. Their echo was so cool. Seeing these coyotes was quite fun for a couple of hours, and I started to look around to see what else was there, and I found this bald eagle right in the middle tree, and I hope you can find it. Quite camouflage. And then all of a sudden to my right, I saw this coyote come out of the field. I couldn't really see it behind the brush, but seeing its silhouette was awesome. I also spotted this other bald eagle to my right. There was so much going on all around me. And then a fourth coyote popped out from the same field and started to come on over to the left, and eventually they all met up by the riverbank, and so did someone else. Seeing this otter pop up was quite a thrill. Fun little thing was checking out the coyote. These coyotes actually found a fish, probably something that the otter put on the bank. Who knows? And then there was one last look, one last stare down, until the coyotes decided to take off.
Holy cow, just spotted a fox.
Seeing this fox was probably the highlight of my trip. As much as I love to see so many different wildlife and landscape, I go back to my childhood when I was in boarding school. I'd often see my parents here and there because I was always away for the whole week, and sometimes a couple of weeks would go by before I would see them again. When I was a kid, it was a little bit challenging because it was a time where we got in trouble for speaking our Navajo language. And I fell so deeply in love with this children's book all about foxes. The story about a mother fox and all that she did to protect her little kids. And to this day, I always resonate with seeing foxes in a different way. The sun was setting behind Jackson Hole, and right next door is the elk refuge where you can see thousands of elk. The fox went away, but in a short matter of time, popped up again. I followed this fox for another about hour or so. What a wonderful way to end the day, to see this incredible, huge golden eagle. Such a majestic creature, quite special to me and my people.
And my last full day has officially started. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, been up since about 5:15, getting things packed and ready to go for the day. Really excited to see what today brings. It's always I don't want to say a gamble, but a lot of uncertainty. However, yesterday was incredibly amazing. No problems with being able to charge in this cold temperature. In fact, last year, I camped on the other side of this mountain in a small town called Tetonia. One of those towns where within 30-45 seconds you're through the whole place. And fortunately they had a campground that was actually open, using their 50 amp connection, in 0-degree weather, let alone that night it got down to negative 35. It was crazy. I was toasty warm in my tent. I had plenty of sleeping bag and all my warm gear. The obvious downside to all of this is when it's colder, it does reduce the range. But for me, I mean that's never been an issue. I'd say I probably get way less range than 99% of Rivian owners, just because of all the extra gear that I'm always packing and hauling, which reduces the aerodynamics, the extra weight, the pretty aggressive tires for the terrain that I usually go in. But overall, it's been a heck of a trip, and can't wait to see what today brings, and then get home, be home with the family, and then after that, take a trip out to go see some more wild horses. So yeah, it should be fun.
I'm an early bird, and waking up early often is quite advantageous, especially if you're going to go out and see wildlife. The sun hadn't come up yet, and all of us were shivering just quite a bit. While all the bighorn sheep were focusing on looking down and to my right, I was curious what was out there. Wildlife can tell each other story sometimes. As I looked closer to this coyote, I noticed that there was quite a bit of red around its neck, either wondering if it got in a fight or if it had recently had a meal. As the full moon was going down, the sun was slowly making its way up. A short ways away in the refuge, I found more elk. And lo and behold, I saw a fox again with a friend. I'm not sure if this was the same fox I saw the other day, however, seeing these two interact was quite interesting. They chased each other around and were playing patience with each other, and eventually the coyote would leave and the fox fell behind. For a really, really great purpose. A small snack. The night before, some wolves had taken down an elk, and this coyote was cautiously making its way up there. Probably makes sense why. As the last day was wrapping up, I drove around again and found this pack of coyotes. It's quite odd to see so many coyotes together.
Down here by the stream, and this elk just popped out of nowhere. It looks so cool.
As a kid, I remember watching so many videos with my dad about wildlife and hunting and tracking. Anytime I see an elk, I quickly remember all those times we spent together in silence, watching people hunt, watching people track, and watch people provide for their families. As we watch these many individuals provide for their families, I quickly remembered all the many times my dad provided for ours as well.
Well, my time in Grand Tetons and Jackson Hole area, I believe, is over. So the next thing that I will do is break down the numbers as far as charge times, how much it cost, how many miles the whole trip has been so far. I'm at 577 miles. Follow along, subscribe, because the next trip I'll be taking on is going to be about 7 to 10 days in Yellowstone. Again, appreciate you, and hopefully you had a fun time too.